And we are live.
Montego, baby, why don't we go to a Kokomo? We'll get
BVV.
there fast and then we'll take it slow.
You're not on
That's
vacation,
where
bro. Vacation's over with, okay? You're not on the
we're
beach.
live.
We're
We're
live.
live. Oh
We're live.
man, what's up, everybody? It's the one, the only Senor Silverback back from vacation. Some much needed respite. I just did nothing but hang out on the beach, eat lots of bananas, and drink dark roast in the glorious South Florida sun. I am energized, homogenized, and pasteurized, and I'm ready and rearing to go. With that being said, you can check out me and CJ always here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell because let's be honest here, we are fighting dark forces. Dark forces. Every it's like every other week I get emails. I subscribed to your channel like 15 times and hit the notification bell. I kept being unsubscribed magically. Believe me, we know what that's all about. So again, check out the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and follow us on Rogue Money, roguemoney.net, the preeminent financial news site, which I am way overdue to be writing an article for. And check us out on Twitter at the Rogue Money Facebook, Rogue Money Podcasting, Rogue Money everywhere. You cannot escape us. Also, check out our sponsors, myfreedomnow.us. Myfreedomnow.us. Bitcoin is raging. Do you need some money for investments? Check out the guys at myfreedomnow.us. Whether you need $600,000 or you need $100,000, whatever you need to get an investment going to stimulate a business idea, screw your traditional bank. What are you doing? Going to a traditional bank, getting a collateralized loan at like 30% interest. Come on. Go to myfreedomnow.us. Let their lending network of 335 lenders get you the unsecured loan that you need. Also, check them out if you needed to get your credit fixed, get out of debt, whatever the heck it is. Check them out, myfreedomnow.us and mygoldusb.com. Surf the internet in total anonymity with complete 1024-bit military-grade encryption and secure your Bitcoin wallet all in one shot. mygoldusb.com. With that being said, CJ, I am back.
Welcome back. Well, welcome back. No more banana daiquiris for you. I think you enjoyed those a little bit too much on the beach,
Yeah,
V.
man, it was that and the banana liqueurs. I mean, I don't know where I was, bro. I'm still recovering. I mean, my God, I opened up the show with Beach Boys, bro. I mean, what does that tell you?
That says it all right there.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I mean, so many things are going on. Did you know that while I was on vacation and over the weekend and the last couple of days, CJ, you and I are now white nationalists. Did you realize that?
I am a white nationalist. Yes,
I am.
yes. My
We are
my
two
my
brown
natural
guys that
tan is
are
gone.
yeah, dude. We are two brown guys, or we could be Caucasians with a tan, CJ. We could be Caucasian with a tan. We are white nationalists now, folks. Did you hear about that? Anybody who's alt right, if you got some libertarian leanings, if you thought that you should be living your life the way your grandmama told you how to live, then you, my friend, are your white nationalist. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're brown. I don't care if you're Hispanic, yellow, Japanese, Chinese. You are now a white nationalist, according to the lamestream media. So this is a new level of stupidity, Siege. I don't know where to begin.
I just again I try not to buy into all this rhetoric, but whenever this occurred this past weekend and the media just kind of took off and ran with it, V, they already had their verbiage, their media in line to only show and tell you the things that were only going to continue to divide this country, and courtesy of who they're going to blame, of course, is the administration.
Correct. Absolutely. I mean, it's a total psyop. They're really trying to tie up this whole white nationalist BS, okay? And the quote unquote alt right, all right? They're trying to tie that with Donald Trump and say, oh, look, Trump supports white nationalists. How about the fact that, Barack Hussein, insane in the membrane Obama, supports the BLM, supports all these far left wing terrorist organizations? Hey, why don't we just come out with it and say, here's the proof that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama rubber stamped the entire funding and creation of ISIS. How about that? Jeez, man. So what's going on in Charlottesville, man? What is the truth to this nonsense?
Well, I just have 2 points because I started watching it on Periscope from a lot of different angles, and that's the beautiful thing that Periscope does. Anyone can just start a live stream too. So I started watching it well before any of the rioting, well before the gentleman that was just insane that ran the other vehicles over and caused the death of. So prayers to those families, to the two officers that lost their lives. But just 2 points here. Number one is that regardless of a person's, an organization, their ideologies, as long as they're not openly creating violence right there, our Constitution grants us the freedom of speech, the right to protest all these things that this organization did. So whether or not you believe or you support them, they have the constitutional right to do that. So whether you're a Black Lives Matter member, whether you're Antifa, whether you're any of these organizations, you have the right to do that. So that's the first thing that I want to draw to everyone's attention, which we already know that.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is that there were a lot of things that occurred in the background, that the media is not talking about, and I'll do that real quickly. But the person that's directly responsible, for the lives that were lost is specifically the mayor of Charlottesville.
Yeah, absolutely.
This idiot, Michael Signer.
Right.
Signer. He specifically, before they were granted permission. Jason Kessler was the event's organizer. He was given permission for this rally, this event, and this mayor, leading into a week before, pulled the permit from this organization of holding their rally. Now, the ACLU got involved and said, you can't do that. This is freedom of speech. He's permitted to have the rally. So again, so the mayor had to go ahead and allow this rally to happen. Now, they were supposed to provide security for this organization. The barricades to separate Antifa from the quote unquote white nationalists. The organization was there to kind of unite regarding several different organizations coming together. Now, what he did was 20 minutes before noon, before the first speaker was scheduled, the mayor illegally revoked the rally's permit against court orders and sent in police in full riot gear after declaring the rally an unlawful assembly. Police ordered everyone to evacuate the park and then administered tear gas. Now, what this did was this sent the rally personnel down streets lined with Antifa, lined with these BLM, lined with these persons. They created this scenario. They created this violence, The mayor is directly responsible for this, and two reasons. Obviously, it fit the narrative. I specifically think that on the back channels, he was working either with Soros or working with the DNC to create this narrative that, look at these white nationalists, look at this situation that's created. So, in closing, there's one person to blame for this, and that's the mayor of Charlottesville. And he knew this was going to get national attention. He probably had his speech already written, ready to go on the stump and get national attention, whether he's wanting to become a congressperson or a senator, whatever they guaranteed him to allow this chaos to happen. Now, there's another event planned. Coming up. I think Joe Biggs is going to be there, Cassandra Fairbanks, Gavin McGinnis, and this is going to be happening in Boston. This is coming up, I think, in less than a month. So we're more than likely going to see some of these same things occur. But that's just my take on it, Whether you agree with that person or not, or you don't align with their ideologies and whatever they're protesting or whatever, that's their right. No one gives a shit what your thoughts or your concerns are. They have the right to do that, whether you agree with them or not.
Yeah, exactly. This is the whole saying this is my biggest beef that I have with libtards. I would rather live in dangerous freedom, CJ, than a safe tyranny. I would rather live in a world where you got guys who can have, as long as it's illegal. I don't care what's talking about, man. Hey, it's your opinion. You think that the white man is descended from space aliens and is a separate species from the rest of humanity and whatnot. You want to believe that? That's your thing. I don't care. I don't care. Now, if somebody wants to say that the African guy is descended from space aliens and he's a separate species and he's a higher and supreme, I don't care. Anybody can say anything about race as long as you do it lawfully. I don't care. Why? Because Siege, you and I are big boys. We can handle somebody talking shit. Okay, God
Right.
Almighty. We can care less. Heck, come to Manhattan. You walk down, some of the streets of Manhattan and whatnot in the city and even the Bronx or Brooklyn, whatever. You see the Black Israelite guys out there every day. You'll see all sorts of hate speech. You'll see all sorts of, people spewing all sorts of nonsense and rhetoric. You just can't get, it's like, it's ridiculous, man. And the fact, and you nailed it, bro. Okay, and this is what everybody's doing. Where the hell were the cops? Where the hell was the bloody cops? Nowhere to be seen. So this guy, Michael Steiner, okay, if he thinks he's going to have a big leg up coming up in the next election, dude, you're done. This is again, Virginia is a police state. Virginia is one of the most corrupt states in the entire union. Okay, one of the most corrupt. In fact, look, any state that bans radar detectors is suspect. Is suspect in my book. Okay,
You're right.
Any state that bans a radar detector is suspect in my book. So right there, and plus, Virginia is known to have so many CIA black sites. That's another fact that if people don't know that, okay, so many CIA black sites that are within the state of Virginia. Number one. Number two, you look at who's running the show. Look at Terry McAuliffe. Okay, in Virginia, he's the governor, and this guy's a Clintonista. Okay, a Clintonista. Michael Steiner is another one of them. He's another Clintonista. He's another lackey of the far left machine. And they think they can stage this where you have people getting killed, getting hurt for legally and lawfully being there. And let me tell you something, you Antifa bitches with your 12-inch arms. Knock it off. Knock it off. You want to go do it peacefully. It's ridiculous, man. It's disgusting. Now, I just said that they're having another gathering in Boston with Gavin and everybody. I don't know. Maybe the gorilla will show up. We'll see. See what happens, man.
Yeah. So that's coming up. I don't have the exact date, but I know I was reading through some of it last night. But yeah, we'll put that note out there. But again, just the controlled chaos. This is exactly what they wanted. This is exactly what they wanted to be reporting on. Is this white nationalist movement? You would thought that Adolf Hitler, came out of his grave and was walking through the streets with David Duke or something.
And David Duke, man, he's I mean, if you've seen or heard David Duke recently, he's really calmed down a lot. He's not. I mean, hell, he's been on multiple interviews with guys like Tommy Sotomayor and whatnot. So it's a lot of this overhyped media nonsense, man. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It's a distraction. It's all a distraction.
From the real thing that's going on throughout the world, CJ, like Syria, wrapping up Syria, man. Government forces controlled land. Okay, has grown 250% in 2 months, buddy. That's hashtag results.
Holy cow! Absolutely, 1,000%.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally. I mean, what we have is this. Look, the area is controlled by the Damascus government in Syria has grown 250% over the last 2 months. Okay, Sergei Shoigu, the defense minister of Russia, says over the past 2 months, the territory is controlled by the Assad government has grown 250%. Shoigu told the state-run Rossiya 24 broadcaster, adding that Russia pushes the U.S.-led bloc to separate moderate rebels from terrorists. We started persuading our American colleagues that terrorists should be separated from opposition to understand where to strike. Establishing the de-escalation zones today is exactly this separation. Shoigu also added the key town of Sukna has been liberated by the Syrian Arab Army, the real army, in the province of Homs, and opens up an opportunity to lift the ISIS siege from the strategic city of Deir ez-Zor. So the last remaining stronghold of USIS, a.k.a. the deep state lackey boys, is Deir ez-Zor, and that city will be falling very shortly. And it's like I said before, man, it is simply a dust-up, CJ, at this level.
Yeah, clearly it is, and it's about darn time. It's great to see that ISIS is being destroyed. And again, when Trump announced, what was it, a month ago, that we were going to stop, funding these terrorists and finally align with Russia and some coordinated efforts. And yeah, so I'm glad to see this, V.
Absolutely, man. You know what I'm also glad to see?
What's
Four
that, V?
thousand dollar Bitcoin, baby. Are you in or are you in?
Just amazing. All the fear mongering before the split, before the hard fork, right? Was, oh, it's gonna crash it. It's gonna be done. Bitcoin is over, and now
Yeah.
look at it just surge and continue to grow. And I think it's just literally, look, we're watching the beginning of it, V. It will just continue to go up, V.
Dude, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I don't want to waste without wasting any time with a detailed analysis. Here's a few reasons, folks. You can tell your friends to, especially today about Bitcoin. Okay. The reason is this. Okay. The whole thing was SegWit. People were freaking out. They were like, oh my God, it's going to be the end of the world. What people didn't realize is now Bitcoin is on its way. It is out the gates and it is running hard. And just like what Cliff I said in his reports, man, you're gonna see some up and downs. Do I see a pullback back under 4,000? Yeah, but who cares? Who cares? Because it's gonna start pulling back up to over 4,000 again on our way to 5,000 and so forth, all the way to $13,000 per Bitcoin come February is a very real possibility. My God, the upside is so tremendous. Even at $4,000, it seems as if it is possibly still greatly undervalued, CJ.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we continue to talk about the utility and everything else, and yeah, I mean, it's just more great things are going to continue to happen. We did have the recent, flare up a little bit with, different alt media, personalities. I think they pretty much have squashed that. Last week, Sean from SGT came out with his interview with Lynette Zhang, talking about the quote unquote bankers SDR, regarding the crypto blockchain. Bix came out with a video kind of saying that, hey, no reason to get scared, Sean. Sean came out with another interview with interviewed JSNIP, and then an actual coder, Brad Peters, regarding this ACC chain SDR controversy. And yeah, so a lot of emotions were running high, and I think that Sean did a great job. What's that?
What happened? What are they freaking out about the blockchain SDR? Who cares? Like what are they crying about? I mean, here's the deal. I want to crush this whole IMF SDR bullshit real quick from somebody who actually works in friggin' the gold market internationally. Okay, is that what they're crying about, CJ? Are they crying about the
Well, yeah, I mean,
blockchain SDR by the IMF? Is that what people are worried about?
well, Lynette came out and specifically within the code, of this organization and the SDR was specifically, the thought was is they were working back channels with the IMF, that basically all assets, whether it's homes, whether it's all cryptocurrencies, that it was kind of the globalists, the bankers,
Yeah,
part to take over the entire cryptocurrency market. V.
Not gonna happen. I don't know where she's getting her information from. Again, here's the deal with the IMF, and this is every person I deal with, okay, that comes from a Western look. If all you've done is work in the United States, all you've done is dealt with gold markets and gold suppliers or precious metals dealers in the U.S. or whatnot, which is really nothing. There's no major players here, none. Okay, there really isn't. There's like 3 major players. Okay, of whom two out of the 3, the guys that I'm connected with supply 4. Okay, so there's really no major players here. Number 1. Number 2, people get caught up. Ooh, the IMF, the IMF. See, what do I always say about the IMF? It's a what? It's a friggin' white elephant. It's an unfunded white elephant. That's all it is. It's an empty office. Okay? Who's been funding the friggin' IMF for the last 2 years? China. Right? Because the U.S. is too damn broke to do it. Okay? And the IMF is what? A Western institution. China used the IMF to piggyback and get their currency yuan swaps out into much more global market, number one. Number two, China created the IMF alternative, which is the AIIB, which will replace the IMF when the whole global economic reset occurs. Folks, the global economic reset occurs because these Western idiots, these Western banksters have lost power. So these guys are, again, they're coming out with this, digital asset SDR system, everything in the SDR, everything's going to go through the IMF. Ain't going through nothing. It's not going to go through nothing because these guys are not in power. It's a decentralized world. Again, these are irrelevant, obsolete individuals. Okay, trying to again, these are centralists who are about centralizing power, and they're fighting a paradigm of decentralization. Number one. Number two, they're fighting the fact that they don't have the money anymore. They don't have any gold. They have nothing, and they're in a zombie institution. Like, for instance, man, let me ask you a question, right? If the skinniest, wimpiest kid in the entire schoolyard screams and makes the loudest threats, does anybody take him seriously? No. And it's the same thing with this whole IMF nonsense. It's the same thing. I don't care if the IMF says we're going to come out with our own blockchain technology and you're going to have to register every toilet paper you've ever bought in your life with us, and you're going to have to register this, and we're going to give you the mark of the toast and the mark of the beef and the mark of whatever. Right? This to me is as hilarious as when J.P. Morgan created their own hundreds of millions of dollars, create their own Bitcoin alternative. That thing crashed and burned. Okay, so it means banks are obsolete. The IMF is obsolete. The IMF has been obsolete. It's a useless organization. So anybody who's coming and tell you that the IMF is this powerful thing, that's where they fall flat. Why? Every time I hear somebody talk about the IMF, right then and there, red flag goes in my head. Not because the person has no credibility, not because the person doesn't know what they're talking about, not because the person is not being insincere. It's just they don't have their work experience, their life experience has been experienced within the paradigm of working and living and dealing with the United States and United States institutions. They have no frigging clue what's going on internationally. They still think the U.S. is pulling the strings. They still think that the West still has a dog in the fight. They got nothing. I'm telling you right now, guys, okay? The cabal, as London Paul so aptly names them, okay? They're in the process, the real members, okay, the real members of the cabal who really pull the strings, they're already in process negotiating the surrender. That's what this whole thing is about. All these flare-ups you're seeing happening in the United States and stuff, this is the middle managers duking it out. This is the last pockets of resistance. But on the global stage, the game is pretty much over. That's what I've been saying forever. There's not going to be no damn nuclear attack on North Korea, and there's going to be a big war, blah, 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 blah. No. So every time you hear IMF, laugh, and have a banana daiquiri and a dark roast. Siege.
Yeah, I mean, in regards to the ACC and their efforts, the ACC chain, there is a great article. I want to thank one of our listeners who posted it in the chat room or on one of the comments in one of the videos. But yeah, you can go to Reuters to find out what their efforts are. It looks like they're wanting to become more of a commercial type institution as far as blockchain and utilizing it for different organizations. So they did have a big meeting in Fort Worth, and one of the Serene Country Homes Group launched an initial coin offering where they're wanting to digitize assets, based upon homes and some utilization for it. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely an organization that is wanting to utilize, blockchain technology. It looks like this was probably their first main contract that signed up with them to utilize, for their technology, their actual blockchain. And so, yeah, so they'll probably gain some other. They want to be, come known as the commercial side for the blockchain, utilizing it for commercial purposes. And so, yeah, maybe perhaps what we can do is maybe in this article, there's a contact for Serene Homes. This will be done in Texas. Maybe just reach out to them and, talk to them about their utilization. And it's an interesting concept to digitize, assets as far as homes and how they will utilize cryptocurrencies, whether it's placing bids or auctions or selling, whatever their plan is. But I don't think there's any cause for alarm now. I will also state at the same time, I think it is a great time, for pause. So I think the message that Sean was putting out, and where it kind of circled back to, is that with any type of investments, gold, the stock market, the cryptocurrencies, there are risks associated with it. There is nothing guaranteed. So do your homework, understand what is happening, and don't. There's so many people producing videos that are putting out information regarding cryptocurrencies. So don't, whenever you listen or hear a video or something talking about cryptocurrencies, do your own homework. Go validate your findings before you just jump all in. Last thing that we want to see through this is somebody take every bit of their last savings and throw it into something and then to have it falling apart. We don't want anyone to fall through that type of harm. So do your homework.
Yeah, exactly correct, man. We exactly know. With that being said, guys, Siege, one of the things I want to counter on before we run out of time here, and then we got a lot of things to go through. Maybe we could discuss some of that probably with London Paul as well later today, actually right after this broadcast. But this is a big thing, man. Let's talk about that YouTube counter, bro. What's going on with that, man?
Yeah, this is exciting, and I'm going to do some more homework on this. I'm actually going to reach out to the blogger, and it's a reason why everyone needs to start opening an account on Steemit. And yes, full disclosure, we do earn potential revenues from Steemit. Instead of putting so much media, so much content on Facebook, YouTube, there is a new decentralized video platform that's kind of in its infant stages, and it's being built, developed basically on top of the Steam platform, utilizing the internet protocols of Steemit to be able to build a video platform that people that produce content will be able to monetize their videos utilizing Steam. So this is a very cool project. Again, I probably spent an hour just kind of looking at it, kind of researching. I do have a few questions, but this is very promising. This is like one of the first promising things. And where you always run into trouble is when you want to create something to counter YouTube. Is just the amount of data storage. Can you imagine how massive the data storage would be? So the particular creator of DTube is what it's called. DTube has figured out a solution for that. Now I need to research that particular vendor that they would want to utilize to help with some of that data storage, but it makes sense. So let's say, for example, that you put a video out and that video earns $50. What would happen is that people could upvote that video, people could share it on Steemit, and then a portion of your earnings of that video would actually pay that vendor for a portion of the storage of the video. And I think it'd be like the equivalent of like 25 cents. And it quotes in this blog how much it does cost. I think it's like 2 cents per. It's real low, 2 cents per meg or gig, whatever it is. So this is very promising technology. And again, I'm going to reach out to the creator and play around with it as far as creating an account, see how it works. Here it goes. I'm gonna read this just real quickly. This account to be used for collect. It will 25% basically will go towards specifically the author rewards. 10% of those fees will be used for paid long-term storage of the files on IPFS storage. The rate is the equivalent of like 0.04% per gigabyte per month. Just because it's just massive storage. The data, your videos will stay there up to 57 months, which is a long time. And then after that, it would be up to you to determine, if you wanted to pay to have the video stay on there. But again, to counter YouTube to the innovation regarding the disruption that this potentially could be to YouTube is very promising, V. So I definitely want to research this and get with the creator. Let's get them scheduled for an interview, and let's
Yes.
talk about this. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna, we're not moving everything over, but at the same time, let's research this and see if we can't utilize this as a counter to
Right.
YouTube.
I mean, here's the thing, man. It's gotten so ridiculous. It's not just political stuff that's being, lambasted on this entity's network. It's also fitness channels. I mean, guys that are in the fitness community that I've been following, guys like Louis Marco, guys like the Hodge twins, guys like Nick Strength and Power. I mean, these are guys. These are fitness YouTubers, man. Fitness, nothing to do with politics. They cover like the bodybuilding industry. They cover like the Mr. Olympias, Night of the Champions, this, that, Arnold Classics, this, that, and the other. I'm like, I wake up one day, I'm like, yo, these guys are getting demonetized. They're like, oh, I'm being demonetized. All my videos, my entire channel's demonetized. They got hundreds of millions of subscribers. Some of these channels, millions, and they're being like, because they're not advertiser friendly. Because having muscular alpha males, pushing weight is
Yeah.
it doesn't fit their beta cuck image that Google wants. I love it, man. You freaking leftists are going to eat yourselves. I love it. Just keep doing what you're doing and watch the backlash. Watch how your organization, your company deflates to nothing. You think you're a monopoly? I got another thing coming for you guys. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So for our listeners, a to do, if you will, would definitely go to Steemit and open up an account, and it's absolutely free to start an account. They do have a little bit of higher grade encryption, so make sure that you enter the username that you plan on keeping it permanent, because you can't change it. And they have very tight security as far as opening accounts, and the reason they do that is to keep people just from creating junk accounts. I mean, if you think about it, you can monetize on Steemit by upvotes and shares, so they want to make sure that every account that's on Steemit is a legitimate person or organization. So it does authenticate the Steemit accounts through either email, through Facebook accounts, certain protocols in there to prevent somebody from just going to Gmail and opening an account yesterday and then trying to use it to open up several accounts on Steemit. So that'd be it to do. And then V will definitely work to learn more about DTube, and then obviously to get an interview scheduled.
Absolutely, man. With that being said, buddy, we're at the end of the broadcast. We got London Paul coming up in about 30 minutes, right, Siege?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we London Paul 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And just a real quick plug, a lot of great articles hit Rogue Money over the weekend. James Rush, an analyst. We have also Ken Shortgren Jr. with articles. So make sure you go to roguemoney.net and check out those articles.
Absolutely. And again, folks, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you are alerted to whenever we upload, whenever we go live with a show. And again, get the podcast, get all the stuff that's surrounded with Rogue Money. And with that being said, we're over and out. Take it away, CJ.